Poker has dealt a new hand. An Idaho judge recently threw out a misdemeanor charge against 2 poker players. He decided it is a game of skill, not chance, so it doesn't break any gambling laws there. CBS News legal correspondent Jack Ford is an occasional poker player.
More was.
You don't strike me as the gambler type.
You know, have to have a chat.
So what was their reasoning behind it?
It was an interesting decision, Charlie. The statute out in Idaho talked in terms of making distinctions between games of skill and games of chance. And they listed games that were prohibited, but they said if it's strictly a game of skill, that's okay. In the prohibited list were things such as roulette and craps and poker. So the defense here said to the judge, well, wait a minute. We're saying that poker is a game of skill, and they brought in an array of experts, economists and statisticians and professionals, and they essentially convinced the judge that poker is indeed, when played well, a game of skill rather than purely a game of chance. So
but
the judge said,
and this was you're getting though,
you
Jack.
don't, it's not completely clear, but the judge made the distinction between, let's say, roulette, where you just spin a wheel and you have no idea where the ball's going to drop, and poker, where if you're a good poker player, there are elements of skill that come into play. So the judge said, you know what? The interesting thing was the lead investigator on the stand said, yeah, I play poker, and I play with some other cops, and yes, indeed, it is a game of skill. And judge said, okay, case dismissed.
Okay, so this is not just, it's interesting because of this one case, but what are the larger implications?
Well, that's a good question, because this decision is not binding on anybody.
Okay.
Because it's a trial level decision. People need to understand that to get a binding precedent, it has to be a decision by an appellate court.
So is anybody going to appeal?
Well, I don't think so. No, because once it's tossed out, even though it was on motion, it doesn't look like the prosecution is concerned about. So I don't think it's going to go up.
Why should we care about this case?
I think what it does, is it creates a legal buzz. It's not a precedent. The judge next door to this judge could decide differently next week if he or she wanted to. But it creates a legal buzz. It'll get lawyers talking about it, get judges talking about it. And I think it also suggests that there's less of a taboo that we seem to be attaching to gambling.
But doesn't it have something in terms of given all the internet gambling that's going on? Would there be some implication there?
Well, I think, there are all sorts of laws and rules that are starting to evolve because of the internet gambling, but this may well come into play. Again, people will be surprised. 20-some states ban playing poker in your own home. Most people don't know that. Think of all the home poker games that are taking place. So I think you're going to see a bit of a cascading effect because of that as we move forward.
The Supreme Court's going to decide soon about whether it will hear a case on sports gambling.
Yeah, we had talked about this. It was a story we did on 60 Minutes Sports, and we had all talked about it. And New Jersey, the population voted overwhelmingly, we want sports gambling. They were challenged by the professional leagues, and the Supreme Court will decide probably within a month whether they're going to take the case.
All right, Jack, thank you. It's good to see you.